Forklift Safety Guide. Learning the safe way to operate a forklift may save your life. Introduction. A forklift is a powerful tool that allows one person to precisely lift and place large, heavy loads with little effort. Using a tool such as a forklift, cart, or hand truck, instead of lifting and carrying items by hand, can reduce the risk that you will suffer a back injury. However, there is a great risk of injury or death when a forklift operator has not been trained in the principles of physics that allows a forklift to lift heavy loads, is not familiar with how a particular forklift operates the forklift carelessly, or uses a forklift that is not safe due to malfunctioning or missing parts. Every year, nearly 100 workers are killed and 20,000 are seriously injured in forklift mishaps. According to the National Traumatic Occupational Fatalities Surveillance System, 1,530 workers died from forklift-related accidents between 1980 and 2001. The top 4 types of incidents as a percent of the total forklift-related deaths are: the forklift overturns, 22% of total victims. A worker on foot is struck by the forklift, 20% of total victims. A person is crushed by a forklift, 16% of total victims. A person falls from a forklift, 9% of total victims. How this book can help prevent forklift accidents. This book has general information about the kinds of forklifts commonly available, the principles of physics that allow a forklift to lift and move heavy loads safely, forklift operator training requirements, some basic operator safety rules, hazardous locations where carbon monoxide is a problem or a special forklift is needed, safety while servicing a forklift. This book is not designed to substitute for operator training in the operation of specific forklifts in a specific workplace as required by DOSH regulations. Whenever you see this symbol in the book, it means that failure to follow the instructions can result in serious injury or death. WISHA standards that regulate forklifts. Safety rules developed under the Washington Industrial Safety and Health Act, WISHA, regulate the safe use of forklifts and other powered industrial trucks in Washington workplaces. You can find these rules in Forklifts and Other Powered Industrial Trucks, Construction Standard, Agricultural Standard, Longshore, Stevedore, and Related Waterfront Standard. You can get a copy of these rules on the DOSH website, www.lni.wa.gov/safety. Or by calling the LNI office nearest you. Types of forklifts. A forklift is a type of powered industrial truck covered by DOSH standards. Like other powered industrial trucks, its purpose is to move, carry, push, pull, and lift a material load, then stack it or place it in a storage rack tier. Forklifts come in many sizes and capacities. They can be powered by batteries, propane, gasoline, or diesel fuel. Some are designed to be used in a hazardous location or atmosphere where an ordinary forklift might cause a fire or explosion. Powered industrial trucks are classified into 7 types based on their characteristics. On the next pages are some illustrations of common forklifts that fit these classes. Class 1. Electric motor, rider, counterbalance trucks, solid and pneumatic tires. Class 2. Electric motor, narrow aisle trucks, solid tires. Class 3. Electric motor, hand trucks or hand/rider trucks, solid tires. Class 4. Internal combustion engine trucks, solid tires. Class 5. Internal combustion engine trucks, pneumatic tires. Class 6. Electric and internal combustion engine tractors, solid and pneumatic tires. There are no forklifts in this class. Class 7. Rough terrain forklift trucks, pneumatic tires. Stand-up rider. Forklift has a counterbalance weight in the body. The rider stands inside the body of the forklift. Example of a Class 1 electric rider counterbalanced truck. Stand-up rider, narrow aisle. The forklift has straddle legs on both sides of the forks to provide stability in the absence of a counterweight in the body. Example of Class 2 electric narrow aisle truck. Stand-up reach rider narrow aisle. Forks extend in and out as well as up, down, and tilt. Example of Class 2 electric narrow aisle truck. Stand-up rider order picker. The operator stands on a platform in front and along with the controls is transported to the elevated location. Example of Class 2 electric narrow aisle truck. Sit-down rider. The forklift has a counterbalance in the rear. Example of Class 1 truck if electric powered. Class 4 truck if internal combustion, gas, diesel, or LP gas, powered with solid tires. Class 5 truck if internal combustion powered with pneumatic tires. Motorized hand pallet jack. A low-lift, ground-level unit has forks or a platform. Some models allow the operator to stand on the back. Others, like this one, are walked. A high-lift version has a mast and straddle legs. Example of Class 3 electric motor hand rider truck. Rough terrain reach forklift. The forklift has large pneumatic tires. It has a boom which raises and extends. It has outriggers at the front to stabilize the forklift on soft or uneven ground. A rough terrain forklift might also resemble a sit-down rider as shown above. It is bigger with large pneumatic tires and a large mast with large forks. It is powered by an internal combustion engine. Example of Class 7 rough terrain forklift truck. Sometimes special attachments are installed onto the forks to extend the reach. Clamp a barrel, act as hoists, lift odd-shaped items like a roll of carpet, or even lift people. Using an unapproved attachment could alter the forklift's lifting and balance characteristics and lead to a forklift overturning. When an attachment is used that could affect the capacity or safe operation of a forklift, its use must be approved by the forklift manufacturer. The employer must mark the forklift to show the new weight with attachment. The maximum capacity at the highest elevation must also be shown. Forklift operators must be trained. An untrained operator of a forklift can be as dangerous as an unlicensed operator of a motor vehicle. DOSH regulations require that the employer ensure that a forklift operator is competent to operate the forklift he or she is assigned to use. The employer must document operator training and an evaluation of the operator's performance while using the forklift. Training has 3 parts. Formal instruction such as a lecture, discussion, interactive computer learning, videotape, and/or written material can be taken anywhere. Practical training, which includes hands-on demonstrations by the trainer and exercises by the trainee on the model of forklift the worker will use, and an evaluation of the effectiveness of the training by observing the operator's performance while doing actual work using the forklift. This evaluation must be repeated at least once every 3 years. Must be at workplace. Refresher training must be given if the operator has been involved in an accident, near miss, or unsafe operations. Also, if an operator is assigned to a new type of forklift or if workplace conditions change that could affect safety, then refresher training is required. Forklift operators must be trained in the operating instructions, warnings, and precautions for the types of forklifts they will be authorized to use. The topics listed in the table below must be covered when training a forklift operator. If a specific topic does not apply to the forklift in the employer's workplace, covering it is optional. Topics related to powered industrial trucks, operating instructions, warnings and precautions for the types of pit the operator will be authorized to operate, differences between the pit and the automobile, pit controls and instrumentation, where they are located, what they do, and how they work, engine or motor operation, steering and maneuvering, visibility, including restrictions due to loading, fork and attachment adaptation, operation, and use limitations, pit capacity, pit stability, any pit inspection and maintenance that the operator will be required to perform, refueling, charging and recharging of batteries, Operating limitations. Any other operating instructions, warnings, or precautions listed in the operator's manual for the types of pit that the employee is being trained to operate. Topics related to your workplace. Surface conditions where the pit will be operated. Composition of loads to be carried and load stability. Load manipulation, stacking and unstacking. Pedestrian traffic in areas where the pit will be operated. Narrow aisles and other restricted places where the pit will be operated. Use of door opening and closing devices. Hazardous, classified, locations where the pit will be operated. Ramps and other sloped surfaces that could affect the pit's stability. Closed environments and other areas where insufficient ventilation or poor pit maintenance could cause a buildup of carbon monoxide or diesel exhaust. Other unique or potentially hazardous environmental conditions in the workplace that could affect safe operation. Qualified trainers. The employer or any other person the employer chooses who has the knowledge, training, and experience to train and evaluate forklift operators can do this training and evaluation. The trainee can only operate the forklift when directly supervised by such a person and when this would not endanger anyone. Documenting training. If the operator had previous forklift training, the employer must document that the training covered the required topics described above. Operator must have been evaluated in the current workplace within the last 3 years. Training and evaluation records. The employer must keep a record that shows that each forklift operator has been trained. The record includes the name of the operator, date of training, date of evaluation, and the name of the persons giving the training and evaluation.